Hey gamers, I'm Eric, RickityBeans Rubino, and welcome to our GAU Indie exclusive interview brought to you by GamersRS.com. Today I am here with James Primate. James is here to talk to us about his new project called Rain World. How you doing today?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you. We're really excited about this game. It's an upcoming PC and Mac game. I believe we might see a Linux version of it.
Yep, that's correct.
Excellent. I saw that happen on Steam too, so that's interesting how it actually affects it. But I mean, let's really get into this. Start with how you're involved in the project. What
Sure.
exactly you do.
Well, this project is mainly, it's myself and a Swedish designer by the name of Joar Jakobsen. And we've been working on this game for about 3 years now. We kind of hooked up over the TIG source forums. He was kind of posting early sketches of the game, and I fell in love with the art style and the main character, the slug cat. And I basically was like, Joar, you got to let me work on this with you. So we've been doing this for like 3 years. It's been a lot of fun, and kind of just recently it was at the point where we thought like, okay, we can bring this to the next level, and so we had a Kickstarter for it, and it kind of like blew up from there. We sort of had no idea. We were just kind of casting the line out there to see like, maybe we can cover our expenses on this, and things blew up really well. We got tons of media hype for it and stuff like that. So now the sort of the scope of the game has expanded a lot. Before, I was just considering doing music and kind of running some of dealing with Steam, dealing with Valve, dealing with whatever publishers we were going to go through. But now it's looking like the game's going to get a much wider release. It's going to be, we're going to be bringing it from the programming language it was initially in, which was Lingo. We're going to bring it into a more modern language, C# or Unity or something like that, so we can bring it to other platforms beyond this and kind of like make it into a slick, cool game for people to enjoy.
Excellent. I mean, it definitely looks like a slick, cool game. It's really different. I mean, what exactly is it? What are you doing in this game?
So Rain World, basically the idea is to create this entire world, say like an alien world. It's not really an alien world like you would fly to in a spaceship or something like that, but like you're this little slug cat. You're this little kind of soft creature in this big scary world, and you're hungry. You need to find shelter. You need to sort of avoid predators, and it's kind of it's come from a place of where we wanted to design like a whole ecosystem, where pretty much every creature that's involved that you see in the game, they're not just like a generic baddie or something like that. They're not there for you to just like kill to get to the next level. They're kind of doing their thing, and you're sort of doing your thing, and you kind of have to just like work it out. You have to deal with it. You've got to survive, and it's sort of an open world game. We kind of wanted to avoid sort of the natural like platformer cliches where it's like, okay, you have to get like 3 keys to get to this next level, or you have to do that. It's really challenging. You have to all of the different creatures that you face in the game, you sort of have to kind of like learn what they're about and learn what their motivations are for how they hunt and like what sort of foods they like. And so you can kind of navigate through to other sections, stuff like that. I hope that answers the question.
That definitely covers a lot of it. Is there a story, or are you just kind of set out and figure it out?
It's kind of set out and figured out. Basically, like, so there's not a whole lot of, this world is really, really harsh. Basically, you're seeing it through the eyes of this this kind of creature that is intelligent. It's tool using, but it like obviously there were other more intelligent creatures on this planet beforehand. So you're going through a lot of these like broken down industrial environments where it's like, what happened to the people that used to live here? Like, is the slug cat, like, was that the old home of these slug cats, or like what's going on? So a lot of it's kind of like sort of peeking your way through like all this alien technology that you can't really like comprehend.
All right. Well, you keep bringing up slug cats.
Yes.
What is a slug cat? Where did that come from?
I don't know. Like initially, actually the name slug cat, and Joar goes to great lengths to point this out every time we talk about it, was just some random YouTube commenter. On every video that we would post of like alpha footage would be like slug cat. He was Japanese, and he would just post slug cat every single time, and it was hilarious. Initially, it was just supposed to be some like soft white creature that like you kind of initially sort of feel empathy for. Like you see this thing, and then you see the other creatures, which are like these like nasty, big-teethed, monstrous creatures, and like the whole world is kind of like broken down, and then there's this lone like white little fluffy cat creature. So that's kind of what it was supposed to be. We wanted people to like feel something when the slug cat gets like ripped apart by these like
Oh
these
God.
big brutal monsters. So the like kind of the name, we're sort of trying to not like work it in now, but like slug cat was something that just like people took and they ran with it.
That's what it looks like. I
Yeah,
mean, let's be
exactly.
honest. But in the same way, you can kind of see how you could project whatever you're picturing a slug cat to be into that.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
one of the things that Jor was really interested in when doing the code for this game was so the characters. I don't know if we want to go too technical into it, but the characters usually in platformer games, characters are sprites. Like it's all
Yep.
sprite based. So it's kind of like a set of animations that can happen. But as a result, the characters are usually like they can't really interact much with the environments. Jor's code is all really soft. So the slug cat itself, it will like bend around things
Wow.
when you're grabbing onto stuff. Like it's almost like ragdoll physics, but like applied to really certain things. So the cat kind of has like this jelly-ish quality to it, to the animation. So like if a creature like grabs you and pulls you in a direction, like there's a bit of a stretch that happens. So a slug kind of it's like this gelatinous
It is, yeah.
cat thing. So it sort of makes sense.
That's really cool. I would just want to feel like, what's the first thing gamers are going to notice when they pick this game up? We're going to notice the slug cat, the world.
You know, I think one thing that really, at least from my perspective, what a lot of people latch onto immediately is Jor's art style, which is like this really cool kind of, it's like 16-bit. It's sort of a throwback to like SNES games where it has that pixel aspect, but it's just like a gorgeous, like lush, rich environment. He's coming from a graphic design background entirely, so like for him, this is like his focus is in the art of it. So I think people are really going to be struck with that, and also kind of like how scary the game is, because it looks. I mean, I know especially from the trailers, like we're trying to like show people like what a nice game it is and all that, but like once you get into it, like it's kind of brutal.
Is it a little violent? Yeah.
It's a bit violent. I mean, it's the sort of game where you could like there's a lot of stealth elements, so you could literally go through it if you're really skilled and like not have to deal with with killing any of these horrible monster creatures that you'll encounter. But like we have sort of a rough view of like of a little creature living in the world. So I think people will be struck with it,
Yeah.
for better or for worse.
Well, you mentioned that it's kind of like 16